Thank you so much to The Provision Games for providing me with a review copy, hey, how fitting, for The Steps as We Know Them. And I'm here today to tell you that I cannot give you a proper review of this game because I am legitimately not smart enough to play it. Apparently. What it is a puzzle game, kind of reminiscent of those sliding across the ice puzzles, you know, from Pokemon and other JRPGs. Except this one is chess-themed. World 1, you play as a pawn, you move one tile at a time, and it starts off with the very basic rule that you can never step on two tiles of the same color in a row, which means, obviously, you have to alternate. Now, it starts off relatively simple, as you can see from the gameplay footage I'm providing. I haven't really found a way to visualize how to get to the end. I kind of just look for jagged edges that I can use to crisscross across the board, and then I just hope for the best and just throw myself at it until I figure it out. Now, the game is incredibly basic in its presentation. It has a relatively smooth, jazzy soundtrack in the back. A very simplistic, jazzy soundtrack. I'm not sure if it was composed for the game or if it's Kevin MacLeod or licensed music. I'm not sure. It fits well enough. Everything takes place in this bizarre chess void. It really lacks any sort of style, which is a bit of a shame because I feel like with a little bit more juice, some more movement effects, maybe have the chess piece tip over a little bit if you move quickly in one direction and then suddenly stop, kind of like the Sonic break. Give everything a little bit more physicality. As it is, if you fall off the board, your chess piece just kind of stands there and then its Z coordinate is reduced. It looks very stilted. I'm sure, I know it's an easy fix. I think the game was made in Unity, and I know enough about Unity to know, just add a little physics effect, just make the chess piece keel over the edge, fall off, like it would in real life. It's going to make the game look so much nicer instantly. Whenever you make a mistake, you just kind of blip out of existence. It's a little jarring. There isn't really much, again, juice or flair to it. It does have the advantage that it allows you to retry very quickly, which is necessary when you're just as bad at the game as I am. Now, I was kind of surprised that the game uses chess pieces but doesn't use the way they move necessarily, because when I had the pawn, I kept trying over and over again, which means I can go straight or I can go diagonal, but I couldn't. It looks like you can on the black and white chessboard, but that's actually just me moving forward and to the right very quickly. So that is very misleading. It's honestly a little jarring to be moving around as a pawn that can go in all directions. I feel like if that's what you were going for with with the start of the game, King would have probably been better, to be honest. The idea behind using the chess pieces is that each world has uses a different one, and each world has a different gimmick that somehow connects to the type of chess piece it is. I only made it to the end of World 2, and I got stuck there for 40 minutes, and then I gave up because I just wasn't having fun anymore, and I feel bad. I wish there was a skip puzzle option, because then I would have loved to try out the other pieces. But basically, the rook moves exactly the same as the pawn. You'd think that with the rook, you pick a direction, horizontal, vertical, and you just shoot off in that direction as far as you want. But no, you actually also move one step at a time. It introduces two new tiles later on. So around after the tutorial in World 1, there will be four different tiles in World 2, which is as far as I got. red, green, blue, and white. The gimmick there is that you can never step from red to green or vice versa. You can never step on the same tile twice, obviously, like I said before. And whenever you step on a white tile, you are pushed one extra space past that. So you'll never stand on a white tile. It's basically ice. And that additional movement in one direction is inspired by the classical movement of the rook in chess. And I assume that the knight has a gimmick where when you walk onto a tile, you'll be pushed off to the side. But I don't know because I can't get past the last puzzle in World 2. What I'm here to tell you is this game exists, the steps as we know them. It's kinda neat. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know how much I'd pay for it. I gave you some gripes that I have with the game. It is satisfying to figure out a puzzle, but the puzzle boards are kind of a mess. They're not aesthetically pleasing, which just makes it look like, you know, Junior Jumble or whatever it's called, where people hide 5 words and then the rest is just random letters and it's just kind of gross looking. That's what this game is like. But most importantly, the point I'm trying to make is this is a puzzle game. Its mechanics are inspired by chess, but are not direct copies of chess, which is okay, but considering how iconic the pawn and the rook are, giving them different movement rules from what they usually have in real chess is jarring. It really messed with my head for a while. It's like, imagine you have a Nintendo game and Mario is the only character in the game that can't jump, and the pawn is as, if not more iconic than Mario. Imagine if you had a pawn, but you couldn't go diagonal. That's what this game is to me. It's, I don't want to call it misguided, because I'm not smart enough to review this game. Again, the steps as we know them. It's a game that exists. It might be fun. You've seen footage of World 1 and maybe a little bit of World 2. If this looks like something you would enjoy, by all means, go for it. And thank you again to the Provision Games for the review copy. Well, that made my job easy. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry for the shorter video. And I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe because, you know, I put so much work into these, clearly. Goodbye. Turn it off.